Hello, you're welcome to my channel. I'm an indie game developer who is trying to learn coding and making games since the beginning of 2020. And I really want to show you the experience I have reached along the path to help you to become like me or much better. This video will be the start of the first series, and in this series I will show you how you could make a game like this in Unreal Engine. Let's go and create our template. Games. Next, select the third person. Let's go and create my project, tutorial project. Yeah, it's got to be the started content. Create the project. I'm gonna cut this part. So now drag our SWAT character. I'm gonna put the link down below. Yes, now import. You know what? Let's create a new folder and call this soldier. Then drag all of the character files to here. Now I'm gonna create a new folder, mesh, and I'm gonna drag all them to here. Now I'm gonna create a new folder and call this Locomotion animations, and new folder aim animations, and a new folder again and call this one blend space. Now go ahead and drag our animations with SWAT character inside of it. Now to here, select the skeleton of SWAT skeleton, import all. Now we got all of the animations, save all, SWAT character, aim. Let's open it up here and drag the aim to the aim animations. Move here, drag the locomotion to locomotion animations. Now let's delete this one. Okay, we got our animations over here. So go for the blend space, then create new blend space. It's got to be the normal blend space, and I'm gonna call this one locomotion. Then open it up, go ahead and save it up. Now inside of the asset details, type in direction, and it has to be minus 180 and 180. Now it's supposed to be 8, and to the vertical axis it's got to be speed, and maximum value is supposed to be 600. This should be 3. Alright, we are now ready to drag our animations. Over here, this is 0 direction and 0 speed. It's supposed to be idle, rifle idle. Yeah, let's drag it up here. Now what we need to do is for the speed of, let's go ahead and run forward over here, not 0 direction, speed 600, and for the run forward left it's supposed to be minus 45, and for the run forward right it's supposed to be 45, and for here it's supposed to be run right, and for here run left, and for here run backward right, and for here run backward left, and for over here you are gonna use run backward. Now let's see. Okay, our locomotion is now ready to use. So right now go ahead and create new animation blend space, but it's supposed to be 1D. Okay, select this SWAT skeleton and call this aim. So now open it up and I'm gonna make this one and call this speed and call this 600. Alright, for the 0 speed we are going to use idle aiming, and for the 600 I will use rifle aim run. Alright, so good. Now save it, then go for soldier, and now go for the SWAT skeleton, then create new animation blueprint, and I'm gonna call this one soldier anim blueprint. Save all, open it up. Now right now go ahead and create add state machine, then open it up, create add state, and I will make this idle run, and from here drag it over here, add state, it's supposed to be jump, then make the return. Now for here use jump loop. Alright, we have set the jump loop, go for idle, then drag our locomotion, drag it, connect it to here, then go for event graph, then we are going to just copy the third person animation blueprint, go ahead to the event graph, then copy the code over here and paste it over here, so we don't have to write all this all again. So create these in air variable, right click, and for the speed same thing, speed. So for the direction we have to create the variable, promote to variable direction, and for the speed drag our speed. Now let's go ahead to the event graph, get the velocity and say calculate direction, and now let's set the direction over here to return value, and base rotation will be our pounds, get control, get actor rotation, it should be, yeah, now it's supposed to work. Now for the jump, for this to work, let's go ahead to transition rule and say drag our is in air equal to true. If it is true, it's gonna work. If it's not true, it's gonna go back to the idle animation, equals to 0, connect it over here. Now, right now, let's go ahead and rename this to Locomotion, and then add save cached pose, new save cached pose, and connect it to here, and I will call this one Locomotion. Now, let's go ahead and try the locomotion. Now it's supposed to work like this. So now what we need to do is go ahead to the third person character blueprint, then to the viewport, select the mesh, then change the mesh to our character SWAT, then select the animation blueprint, soldier animation blueprint. Right now it's supposed to work. Let's see how it looks. Perfect. But right now it's not actually animating the normal locomotion because we are using the pawn control rotation. We are not using it, sorry. Now if you do that, it works perfectly. But what we're gonna do is we are gonna enable this when we only aim, okay, because it looks cool after all. You don't need the locomotion if you don't aim. Go ahead and then select the camera boom, make the z-axis to 70. Alright, go for the socket offset and y-axis supposed to be 60. Now it will look so much cooler. I'm gonna just make the save on compile on success only. Save all. Let's play again. Alright, now the camera looks much better for third person. And now let's go ahead and make our aim. So go for the edit, then project settings. Inside of here, go for the input, then action mappings, and say create new, then aim action. Now I will make this to right mouse button and create new one and say this fire, and I will make this left mouse button and create new one and say this reload, and I'm gonna make this one to R. Now we are ready with our inputs. Now go ahead to the third person character and type in aim action. Yes. Now I will make new custom event, add custom event, and I will call this aim action. No, not aim action, aim active. Now I will make a new custom event again, custom event, and call this aim deactive. We will use this to swipe to the right shoulder when we aim, and for that add timeline and call this aim timeline. Then open it up and add float track, and I will call this aim float, and add key to curve float. Time is supposed to be 0, value is supposed to be 300, and now make this length to 0.25. Alright, let's go ahead add new key and make the time to 0.25 and call this value 200. Yeah, it's supposed to be right. Go ahead, connect these to here and here. It's gonna reverse the thing, and let's drag our camera boom, set arm length, and connect the aim float to here. Let's make this much better. Nice. Let's go ahead and connect it. Now it's gonna make our camera to go forward when we aim, or if we are not aiming, it's gonna go backward. So for aim pressed, aim active. Now for the aim released, aim deactive. Now go ahead and look at it. Works perfectly. Now what we're gonna do is go for the update over here, and you know what, first off this, let's go ahead and say go ahead and create a variable and call this aim pressed, and set this variable from here. Aim pressed is true and false when we release it. Alright, so now from over here, let's get our aim pressed from here. If aim pressed is true, we are gonna set pound rotation yaw. It's supposed to be yaw, I think. Rotation yaw, yes. Yaw to true. If we are not aiming, we are gonna make it false. Alright, let's see. We are aiming. Now locomotion works. If you are not aiming, locomotion doesn't work, but it's looking quite good. So right now what we're gonna do, first off, let's comment this to aim action. Now what we're gonna do is get our rifle. Yeah, you're holding an invisible weapon. Where is it? So let's go ahead and add our rifle. Go ahead to the Epic Store. Now go for the store. Come on. Type in weapon and make it free. Then FPS weapon bundle. Add to the project. Then select our project. Tutorial project. Yeah, here. Let's go ahead and add this to here. Come on, come on. Now, it's imported. Let's look at it. Meshes. I will use AR4 and SKAR4X. Let's go ahead and create our weapon. Add component, skeletal mesh, SKARX. Now I will call this weapon. Now go ahead and parent the socket to right hand. Now let's rotate it this way. Make this to snap the hand. Alright, so let's go and snap it to the hand. Let's look how it looks. I think it looks cool right now. Now what we're gonna do is we are gonna connect the left hand to the weapon, because our left hand is not quite fitting to the weapon. Is it? Why is the soldier aiming it up when we walk or run? I don't know. So, and by the way, our jump works too. I haven't tested out. Yeah, works quite good. Yeah, perfect. It's perfectly going to the idle. Nice. Let's go ahead to the soldier animation blueprint and create a variable and make it vector. Yeah, nice. And call this left hand effector. And now what we're gonna do is cast to third person character. Then this object supposed to be our get pawn owner. Drag it over here. Then promote this to a variable. Then let's get our third person. Then let's get our weapon. Weapon mesh. Yes. Now get socket transform. Get socket location, not transform, and call this one left hand socket. So for this to work, let's go ahead and create our socket to our weapon. Let's go ahead and add socket, call this one left hand socket, and I will drag it to the position how it's supposed to be. Now let's see. Yeah, perfect. So go for this. This will set the left hand effector. Now, perfect. Now what we need to do is go for the anim graph and create two bone IK, and this supposed to be 70, I think. 70. We will see it later, but select the IK bone for left hand. It's supposed to be left hand. Okay. Now for the component pose, it's supposed to be the locomotion. We are going to change these things because we are going to use aim offset too. Okay. The effector location should be over here. And say this. What's cached pose? And say this with IK. Let's drag it over here. Use it like this. Delete this one. Passed with IK. Alright. Now connect it over here. Let's see. Our left hand is just gone. So let's go ahead and look at our joint target location. It looks fine, I think. Let's connect this to here too. Alright, let's test it out. Save all. It doesn't work. Wanna know why? It's because of our effector location space supposed to be world space. Let's try out now. Works perfectly, but we gotta just do a little tweaking. Let's check our skeleton. Let's see. Now it's holding much better. Yeah, save this one and stop it. Let's look at it again. Perfect. So what we need to do is set our aim offset, because we can't look up and down. Can we? We can't. So I will use layered blend per bone. So this will be, let's layer setup. This will be spine. Now for base pose, it's supposed to be locomotion. Alright. And for the blend pose, we will use our aim animation. So drag our aim blend space, then connect the speed to here. Get the speed. Then we are gonna use our transform, not like that, transform bone modify, and we will use our thing to here, connect it over here. So select the modify to modify the spine, and rotation should be add to existing component space. Now it's not gonna work, of course. Then let's go ahead. We're gonna use it with something else. Let's go ahead and say blend poses by bool, and if it is true, it's supposed to work. So if it's true, it's gonna make aim, but if it's not gonna make it. So for event graph, go ahead and say is aiming created. It's supposed to be boolean. Now what we need to do is aiming get is aiming. If it is true, it's gonna aim. If it's not, it's not. So for the false value, we are gonna use locomotion. Where is our locomotion? Over here. Let's drag it over here. Now save cached pools and drag it over here. And I'm gonna say this one with aim offset, and I will use this aim offset with IK with aim offset. So right now it's supposed to work. So, but we haven't done our aim offset yet. Let's split this rotation like this. Now go for event graph and create variable, and I will say this offset value, and I'll make this float. Let's go ahead and set it. Now what I will do is get control rotation, and I'm gonna split this struct pin, then drag our page to here, set the offset value, then go for anim graph and get our offset value, then multiply by -1. We are going to reverse this value with here, and we'll test it out right now. So is aiming doesn't change right now, but first off, let's try it. Yeah, perfect. Let's go ahead and make that is aiming. All right. Now go ahead and create begin play. When begin play, we are going to get our mesh cast to soldier animation blueprint, and we are going to cast it from get anim instance, then make it over here, then I will set this to promote to a variable. Then now I will get this variable from here, get set is aiming to true from here and to false from here. Connect this target to here. Now let's look. Try out. Perfectly working. Not really perfect. If you go left and right, aiming just goes like weird ways. To fix that, there was a mesh space rotation value, mesh space rotation blend. Make this true, don't forget to do that. And now it will work perfectly. If you look at it, now it's working really fine. When you just go left and right, it just goes for something else. You will fix it with something in character movement, rotate, orient rotation to movement. Disable this, then enable this one. It should work. Let's use it like this. Alright, I will make this to 1K. Let's look. Perfect. Alright, what we have to do right now is firing, I think. Let's comment this to event begin play. Let's go ahead and create our fire. And now what we're gonna do is line trace. Go ahead to the macro, then type in line trace. So I will make line trace by channel, and let's connect it to here. Now start location should be, let's get our camera and get world location, and for this get world rotation, now the start location will be plus vector, and to here let's make multiply with 270, I think. I can't remember too much, but let's go ahead to here. Yeah, start location will be like this, and for the end location we'll just copy this over, and world location over here, and rotation over here, and let's make this like that, and this value is supposed to be 5000 maybe. This will be your weapon range. You can just promote to a variable and say this weapon range. Yeah, for right now let's make this to a variable too. We can test out, and out hit result, break the hit result, and for return value let's set this like that. If we are hitting now to true, then get our location should be hit location, and impact point, and impact normal, and hit actor, hit component, and yeah, that's all I think. Go ahead to the fire event and set this to here. Now what we're gonna do is let's make a function and say this before line trace. I think no, let's say this fire event. When we fire, this should be happening, and create another function, and let's say this hit event. We are gonna make this gonna happen when we when line trace hits a component, and let's create a vector from here, and this should be hit location, and create another vector and say this hit impact normal, and create another, but not the vector, and say this primitive component, and I will say this hit component. And now for inside of fire event we are going to do some things, but before all that let's drag debug type for duration, and let's drag our hit event to here, connect the nodes hit location to here, impact normal to here, hit component to here, and before all this we're gonna make a fire event now. Alright, we are ready. Let's go ahead and try. Perfect. But what we need to do is we just need to lower the gun because he is aiming to up little. So you can just make it from the animations we have just imported. Not here. Go for aim animations, aim, idle aiming. Go ahead and select the right hand and just make a little touch. Then go for 0, add key, then apply. Now it should be much better. I think it's much better, I think, but I don't know. Yeah, perfect. We are holding from here. Why is that? We will fix that later. So firing is working, but we are not shooting directly from the camera. We are shooting just the close range to the weapon muzzle, because when we go here, we don't supposed to shoot the wall, the wall we are looking at. We supposed to shoot over here. That's the main reason I'm making it from little much forward. Let's go ahead and create our sound. Go for the starter content, audio, and explosion 01. Duplicate this and say this fire sound, and open it up and make the pitch to 4. Let's hear it. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is go for the fire event, play sound attached, and then we are gonna play spawn emitter attached. Now select our sound over here. Attach component will be our weapon. Attach it to here. Then open it up and say attach point name will be muzzle. And for here, it should be the same. Attach component. This should be muzzle. Alright. For the emitter, we are gonna make our emitter too. So go for the particles and explosion. Duplicate this and say this fire effect. Let's open it up. Delete fireball, sparks, firelight, smoke. Yeah, we just need this. It's just a simple way of particle. With starter content, I will say 100, I think. I don't remember too much, but it should be working fine. So for the fire, let's go ahead and select our emitter template with fire. Let's try out. Perfect. Isn't it? Now what we need to do, let's just make this a bit much better. Let's say -10. How it is looking. Nice. It's just looking to the crosshair much better. Let's say this to 10. Let's see how it looks. Much better right now. As you can see, it's just looking to the center of the screen. Now what we need to do is let's go ahead and add a recoil to our firing. Let's comment this to fire action. To add a recoil, go ahead to the mouse input and copy these settings. And go for the fire events, paste it over here. And now this should be like, I think the value is supposed to be random float in range. Connected over here. It should be -0.2, I think, and 0.2. It should be like this, I think. And for that controller pitch input, it should be -0.1 and 0.5, I guess. Yeah. Let's see how it looks. It's going wrong direction. I think it was the pitch. Let's say this minus, I think. It's because of that. Yeah, perfect. Nice. And this will be our recoil. And now we will make another thing with recoil. And that will be our forearm should just jump a little bit when we shoot. Let's just go ahead and make that, shall we? Let's go ahead and create, and this should be the aim offset. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this over here and say this IK and say this locomotion. Yeah, perfect. But now what we need to do, get aim, no, not aim, get the width IK, then make another thing. So blend poses by boolean, shall we? I think it should be like that, yeah. If this is false, it should play just width IK, and for this value we just simply get promoted value and make this add impulse question mark. If you want to add impulse, let's go ahead, drag it over here and say transform modify on. We're going to use this width like that, yeah, and connect it to true and get our width IK to here. We're going to use width IK again, and for the rotation, but first off wait, and first off I think right forearm, yeah, and make this X value -5, yeah, it should be like that. And I think go for the rotation, not the ignore, add to existing, and then we are gonna make add cached pose, no, save cached pose, saved cached pose, and it's supposed to be result, I think. And for the result, we are gonna use it from here, result, use cached pose result. Now this should be result, and this should be recoil. Let's compile. Let's look at it. Just use it a bit. Nice. It's just looking weird, but it's just for right now. Now go for the event graph and say if add impulse is true, make it with delay to false again. The delay should be 0.5, and then set the impulse to false again. Now what we need to do is in fire event, let's make the as soldier, get it from convert to validate. Then now let's get set impulse, let's add impulse from over here, make it true. Now it just automatically add impulse to the left forearm. Perfect. What we have left is right now the hit event and our automatic fire. Now for that, let's just make the automatic first. Auto firing. If, let's create another variable and say this is firing. Then let's go ahead and drag it over here. Get is firing. If it is true, let's make it to the true. If it is false, let's make it with false. Then what we're gonna do is create another variable and say this ammo and let's make it integer. Get set ammo from here to and get ammo -1. Perfect. We are gonna decrease our ammo whenever we shoot, and let's make the ammo to 30. Now go for event graph. So let's make is firing, set is firing to true. Now what we're gonna do is say released, and released will be is firing false. Now from here let's make another thing. If aim pressed and ammo, get ammo, is bigger than 0, we supposed to be able to shoot. If we are not, we can't. So go for event graph again. Let's go ahead and just make a space for our fire. Line trace, no auto firing. Let's make this one. Let's create it from sequence. Oh, sorry, we had to make a delay. With delay, it's supposed to be fire. Delay. The duration will be our fire rate, and I'll make this 0.1. Now when we shoot, when we fire, we should be able to fire again. So let's make it over here. Nice and clean. Perfect. Let's make this much better. Now let's try out. Perfectly firing. Not so much perfect, actually. We were able to fire, as you know. So let's see what we have done wrong. I shouldn't have done it from here. Let's see. Let's unconnect it. For here, let's pass it over here. It's not checking the if from function because it just goes right over here. It just doesn't check. So we are gonna make it like that and connect it over here. Now it's supposed to work perfectly. Let's see. Our ammo run out. Now we can't shoot. So we need to add reload as it is, but it's gonna be really simple without the animation. I will make the animation and etc. later. So set ammo from here to 30. Now let's comment it to reload. What we haven't done is our decal when we shoot, isn't it? We should be able to see our fired things without the line trace. So just draw debug type for none. I will give you guys this texture so you can make the material again. Let's drag it over here, create new folder, call this material, drag it to material over here. Let's create the material. I'm gonna say this decal material, open it up. Now from here, set this to deferred decal and translucent. Then drag this RGB to emissive color. Then drag RGB to 1 - to opacity. Now it should work perfectly. Apply, then save it. Come on, come on. Now it looks really cool. Then go for the hit event. Spawn decal attached. So, listen carefully. Get hit component. Make this to attach here and copy the hit component. By the way, let's get our material to here. Inverse. Transform location. And this should be get hit location to here. Now get world transform. This should be to here. Then inverse transform rotation. Drag to here. Then this will be get hit impact normal and connect it to here. Now the location will be this, and the rotation will be this. Now for a decal size, I will just use 20, 20, 20. Let's see how it looks. I think it's too much big, isn't it? Let's make it 10. So we got our aim offset and a lot of features. What we need is our widget, isn't it? Let's create widget folder and use user interface, widget blueprint, and say this HUD. Let's open it up, compile. Now I will get image to canvas panel and make the anchor to center, and position will be 0, 0. Let's make our crosshair. I think it's look cool. It looks cool, isn't it? It's enough for starting. So for the ammo counter, let's drag the text, and I will call this ammo counter, and make this is variable, and I will make the anchor to corner, right corner, position 0. Let's make this to here, and let's make it bigger. Now, looks cool. I think it looks cool. Now, first off, let's go ahead to, did we save this? Yes, yes, yes. Go ahead. Now, the third person character, go for event begin play, and now create widget, and I will call this one HUD because we had the HUD. Owning player will be get player controller. This should be owning player. Yes. Then return value will promote to variable and say this HUD widget. And let's make this to viewport. Add to viewport. Now it should work fine. Looks really cool. Now what we need to do is count our ammo, shouldn't we? Let's go ahead and create event tick, and I will get what widget, convert to validated, and get ammo counter. Then I will set text. Now what I will do is append string, and this will be ammo, and create another pin and another pin. This will be our ammo, get our ammo for here, and this will be slash and 30. This is the max ammo. Let's return this value to here. Let's comment it to event tick. Now our thing is finished. All right. We got a perfect aim offset. I think it's perfect. You could just tweak it however you like from here, like this, and the offset value if you like to. So don't forget to subscribe. I couldn't speak. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit like button. So see you in another series I will make. I might make a devlog maybe. I don't know if I will make a tutorial any sooner. So our tutorial is done. I will give the project link down below and all the assets I have used with links, and I will give these files too, and this file, and see you.